15 days.
It's 15 days until we go on tour.
15 days. 15 days.
That came around quick, didn't it?
Oh, we've still got so much to do.
No, it's fine. It's all completely under control. It's totally reasonable to organise a tour yourself and everything that goes along with it.
I'll be fine. I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
The too much tour might have turned out to be a little bit too much work.
Who'd have thunk it?
But we'll get there and it will all be worth it. And we really, really, really can't wait. And the tickets are selling. So if you don't have yours already, get to that link in bio or the link in the blurb for this episode and grab yourself a ticket to come and see us at one of the many locations we are crazy enough to take ourselves to in the UK.
Also, did you realise that this is our 50th episode?
50.
50.
We've literally been doing this one a week for 50 weeks. You and I have stuck to something for almost a year.
Bloody hell.
Every single week we've got one out. And we've done it in real time because we didn't even realise that we were meant to, you know, when you start a podcast, you should stockpile a few to get you away. We've just been on a hamster wheel for 50 weeks.
Just plod.
Yeah, thank God for body doubling in real life, hey?
Yeah, so 52 weeks in a year.
Yeah, we're almost at a year.
Bloody hell.
Madness.
I mean, maybe you should watch my language, but that's just where I'm whoa.
Yeah.
Just whoa. It's just crazy. So halfway to 100.
Yeah, it's mental. And like literally, yeah, it will be celebrating our first birthday when we get to Leeds.
Yeah, very exciting.
Very exciting.
But before we talk about Leeds, let's go to Cardiff.
Yes. So if you are...
Yeah, no, go on. I was just getting really excited.
Oh.
I was like...
Dawn's got her thumb up.
I just went to count all the things that I wanted to say.
I was like, what's happened? Yeah, so our next guest is joining us in Cardiff. So if you are in that part of the world, you really won't want to miss that. So do come and join us at the incredible Tonight Josephine in Cardiff because it's going to be amazing.
Our first Welsh guest.
Yes.
My first time in Wales.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Never been to Wales. I'm really excited about that.
Was there a third thing?
No. I think that's it.
I know, it's very exciting. And our next guest, whose name is Coco. Coco is non-binary. I think we asked Coco at the start of the episode, how shall we address you? And she's like, whatever you want to call me. Like, I go by anything. I am who I am. And I know we always say this, but seriously, she's a legend.
Yeah. My cheeks were aching.
Yeah. We get to talk to Coco.
We do get to talk to...
Talk to Coco is her handle. It's her thing. So anyway, we do want to give another little disclaimer because there's some intense subject matter in this blether. Coco has really been through it, as so many of us have. And yeah, there's mentions of suicide and some violence as well. There's some pretty extreme ongoings. So we just wanted to let people know if that's going to send you a bit wobbly, then maybe don't have a listen. But it does have a very, very happy ending.
Yeah, and it's so incredible to hear her story of how she's completely turned things around.
Yeah. It's incredible. And the thing as well is that Coco doesn't pretend to be this amazing person. She is completely honest about the failings and the things that she's done and how she's reacted in certain situations. And that's just so incredibly admirable. Mm-hmm. And she uses her life experiences to help people all over the world because she has that compassion. She's been to those dark places and she's not going to judge anybody.
Yeah.
She's absolutely just a phenomenal person. So thank you so much, Coco, for sharing your incredible story with us.
Yeah, we're very excited to share this episode.
Yeah.
Shall we go?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
ADHD as females, ADHD AF, ADHD as females, the podcast.
Hi, I'm Dawn.
Hi, I'm Laura, and
we are
ADHD AF. Seriously. We are two neurodivergent neighbours who moved to the same street at the same time, at the same age, with the same undiagnosed disability. What are the chances?
Since discovering the enormous impact ADHD has had on our lives and the horrifying numbers of missed and undiagnosed females, it has become our mission to make some serious noise.
We want to use our voices to raise awareness, break the stigma, and share our experiences in the hope that they help others.
So join us for a chat, or as it's called up here in Aberdeen, a blether.
Trigger warning, we will be covering some really sensitive topics, so please do have a read of the description of each episode before listening.
It's important to note that we are not medical professionals. We're not therapists or coaches. We're not qualified to offer advice or support. What we will do is share our experiences alongside resources and information from professionals. We will talk over each other and we will go off topic and forget the point mid-sentence.
We are both assigned female at birth, which means that we can only speak from the experience of life as AFAB people. However, ADHD AF is an inclusive space. Whatever your gender, you are very welcome here.
Yes, you are.
ADHD as females, ADHD AF.
So we are joined today by a very exciting guest in Cardiff. Are you in Cardiff?
Yeah, I am.
We're both in sunny climes here, aren't we?
In a sunny, beautiful sunshine today, guys. Obviously not.
You're our first Welsh person.
Really?
Yeah.
It better be first and only. No.
You went for the best.
I'm tired. Every time it's me. It gotta be me. I should be the face of Wales for everything.
I've been waiting for this moment all my life.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be the worst moment of my life.
Oh, God.
But can fai puchwingi kokere kun drop can Cecilia go.
Listen, I know that's a train station, and that's all I can tell you. You know more Welsh than me. I love it, literally. I know it's a train station. It's a train station somewhere, but that's all I know.
I don't even know if that's how it's all pronounced, but
Yeah.
someone taught me that as a kid, and it's
Yeah.
stayed with me.
Yeah, and I only recognise it's the last part. That's the
The
only part.
go-go, yeah.
I said otherwise I wouldn't have a clue what you were on about.
Oh, well.
Brilliant. So,
love it.
Coco, please will you tell us about yourself? Name, age if you like, occupation, whatever you feel like telling us.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I'm the big 3-0, even though I'm a little 5'1". I'll be 31 in September. So I am ready for this. I am a mental health, creative curator, writer, activist, speaker. I'm a sign model too. I guess I'm like an all-rounder, I like to think. I got my hands in multiple cookie jars, right?
Multi-hyphenate, they call it.
It's perfect for me and my personality. I can't just do one thing. So yeah, I do a bit of everything, but always for a good cause. I like to, I guess, represent, destigmatize people like us. So yeah, that's what I do, I guess.
That's fantastic. That's a lot of ADHD boxes tick there, because you're following your passions, what you're enthused by, and then you've got your justice sensitivity as a motivation.
100%. I've got you know what we're like. We're sensitive souls, right?
Yeah.
God, I wish it wasn't though.
Me too. I'm telling you.
Oh, but it is. It seems to be like everyone we speak to that has ADHD. Yeah. I mean, not everyone, but a high percentage of them tend to not just stick at one thing. Yeah, it's because we can't.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like that. Like my missus always says that to me. Like, how are you doing so much? But I feel like as much as they say we can't concentrate on one thing or whatever per se, like my mind works better doing 10 things at once, even though they might or not sort of happen at the same time. But like, right, this is happening then. Like, yeah, it's fast, right?
100%. So what does a normal day look like for you? Do you just wake up? Because I wake up and I'm like, this is having, that is having. Is it just like that as well?
So yeah, I guess so. So I try and do it like my structure. I'm obsessed with planning. So like on my fridge, I've got like a weekly planner, a monthly planner. Then I've got 2 different calendars on my phone. So like every day I've got to have something to do. I cannot have a day where I've got nothing to do. Like that freaks me out. So like today I've got you guys now at 10. I've got another meeting then at 12:30. Then I'll take the baby out this afternoon. Like I've got to have something. So like every day is different, but I like that. Like it can't be the same, because that's another thing. I get bored hella fast. So if I have too much routine, that at the same time, then I don't want it. It's difficult, I guess.
It's a juggling act, really.
100%.
I feel like if if you did have a day with very little in it, would it be that it would be anxiety inducing?
100%.
It would be like,
I'm like twitchy, like and my missus will say, you need something to do, just like go and basically find something to do, whether that's
occupy yourself.
Yeah, literally like the naughty kid, go upstairs and find something to do, literally.
I feel like I'm dangerous on the days I have nothing to do, because that's when I end up getting into trouble and doing things that I shouldn't be doing. And like, I'll cut all my hair off, or like
dye a pink.
Yeah, well, that was this morning's job. Yeah,
I love it though. I love it.
Yeah, if I've got nothing to do, that's when I'm trouble, essentially.
Yeah.
Trouble for myself.
It kicks in, and everyone can tell around you. They can tell in it, like the people you live with would know that was a day that there was no plans, because you've gone and done something impulsive, something mad, like the average person would say, oh, you're crazy for that. Hell yeah, we know. Like, innit, thanks. Like, that's my top compliment.
Do you burn out?
Yeah. Okay, so like we've just moved house. So since November we got married, we've had a baby, and we just moved house. So that's been like crazy, but it's been good. But burnout for me, is bad. And I'm one of those people, I don't know if you guys are the same, but like when that happens, I get not like nasty, but like, I'm a bitch, basically. Let's
short-tempered.
Yeah, like anything anyone can say, like it's one of those ones, and it's like you don't want to feel like that or project that onto the people you love, but I physically can't help it. Like I always say, it's like the Hulk, you know, when he's just coming out, he's like, and you're trying to keep it in, but I don't. And sometimes I go take myself for a walk, like just go and, do you know what I mean, be by the water or be something calm.
Dump it out, not be around people.
Literally, especially if people don't understand you, or like you're in the supermarket or somewhere, like, do you know what I'm saying, and people are looking at you like, what, like you're a big grown adult acting like that, and I'm like, sorry, I can't help it. I don't want to act like this, but it's what it is, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So do you, in your planning, sorry, I keep going off.
No, of course.
Intrigued by it. In your planner and everything that you're doing, you set aside time to rest?
No, never. I never. And that's my problem. Like, that's another thing I've always been told, like, take some time for yourself. But like, for me, for myself, would still be doing X, Y, and Z, because that's what sort of keeps me afloat and keeps me sane.
Yes.
If you like, to have plans at the same time. Like I don't know, what would my relaxing time be? I'm obsessive. So I've got like a collection of mugs. I've got a collection of trainers. Like I prefer going shop or do something like that.
I understand. My relaxation time is Depop.
Yeah, see, there we go. Yeah. Whereas other people would sit down, feet up, cup of tea and relax. Like I can't. No, I've been to the cinema like 3 times in my whole life and managed to watch a film. It's crazy, but it's true. I swear to you.
Like I always find that I can't do one thing. So like if I'm watching TV whilst playing a game on my phone. Or, you know, like I have to be doing something else. Or like we were on a call yesterday, and I'm sitting polishing the jewelry that I'm making. I find that by doing something else when I'm supposed to be paying attention, I pay better attention.
Yeah, because your brain's like that little bit, the calm focus is focused on something else. But then, it's 100. But people will say like, you're like superhuman for that. And I says, in a sense, we sort of are. Like our brains can do a million things sort of thing at the same time, but give you like, and that's another thing. She'll say that to me, like, oh, you're not listening. I'm like, I am. What did I say then? And I'm like, and they're like, oh, I am listening. I just can't like give you all that focus, unfortunately.
Or sometimes you're just not listening.
Or I just don't want to listen. And you're talking shit. Bye. Like,
So when were you diagnosed with ADHD?
So I was diagnosed at 17 with ADHD. I've been back and forth like mental health services, I'd say from probably like year 5, year 6, so like 10, 11, going back and forth. Never really got anywhere with my mum and like the kids. They always used to just say like I was just naughty or I was spoiled, that kind of stuff. So then I guess growing up and battling with yourself, you know, like through those teenage years, you've got your teachers in school telling you misbehave, and you know yourself like, I'm not a naughty person, like I'm saying, I'm not a nasty person at the same time. But so I got diagnosed then at 17, and I guess what I did, it was like music to my ears, like I've known this my whole life, I've just been needing this way earlier kind of thing, you know. And when I did, I think for me, And my family, that was the sort of like breathing fresh air, that kind of like clarity, euphoria kind of moment that everyone sort of just accepted and allowed me to be me. Because I think before that, it was always like barriers because I was naughty or barriers because I was this way, where that was never the case.
Doing it on purpose, being a troublemaker.
Yeah. People think you just acting a twat for no reason. And you're like, yo, like this is headwork for me. I'm not doing this just to do it.
Yeah. And so was it you that suspected you had ADHD or something else?
I knew it. So like if you was to meet my mum's got ADHD. She's worse than me, but she's in denial and she's a black woman. So she'll tell you, I'm fine. Like, honest, I swear. But like for myself, I always knew. And you know, like back in the day in the 90s, like ADHD, I feel like was probably the only thing that was like spoken about, but it was the naughty kids, the kids that can't keep still. So for me, it was like, okay, that must be me because I'm not fitting in any other kind of boxes. So then it was the continuously like it'd be kicking off or something would happen with my mum and then she'd like take me to the doctors, right? She needs to see somebody because they say normal behavior for her age or whatever, that kind of stuff. And then at 17, it come to a point, I think maybe I tried to kill myself or something like that. So it was like one of those that took me to be like, right, she needs to see a proper like psychiatrist. And that's when I seen somebody, someone that was just a bit more, I guess, open-minded at the time of like, okay, you speak, tell me everything, and then we'll go from there. And then as a diagnosis, my family cried. I felt absolutely amazing because I was like a big F you all to you all because I knew they were saying, I'm not crazy like that crazy, but I'm a bit crazy, you know, like we know ourselves, right? So for me it was everything. I think to be diagnosed, it was the best thing ever.
That's so fantastic that you had that person. I mean, obviously you could have done with it bloody earlier to have gone through what you've been through, but thank goodness you finally got somebody that knew, because so many people even today would not believe that it would be ADHD because of gender, because of not so appropriate training, not thinking 100%. It's even real.
It's so true. And you find that too. Like I've heard a lot of health professionals like speak about ADHD, like it's not a real thing, like as if like, oh no, it's just an excuse or a term for naughty kids or kids that can't keep still. And I feel like ADHD and autism are like one of the highest rating mental health thing that isn't diagnosed.
That's the thing that's strange as well. You know, we speak to so many people that are late diagnosed, and you can sit and you can say, well, you know, that's okay. They didn't know then. They didn't understand then. We had our stereotypes and backdated information or whatever. I've got a cat on my lap, sorry. But, you know, when you hear that that's still going on today, it's completely unacceptable. And that's literally why we do what we do. Go on, like it's bad enough that we had to go through it. It's really got to stop now for future generations.
And the thing is, it's great that you got diagnosed young. I mean, still, it could have been earlier, but it's still awful that you had to be in the pits of despair to get
You've got to like hit rock bottom here, like to even get like a scene in front of a professional. And another, for a lot of people, like you find don't have the money maybe to go professionally and stuff like that too. So then you're just at a backlot kind of thing. And like yourselves, that's why I started Talk to COCO, because I just thought, there need to be more people like ourselves that can at least understand these people and be like, no, you're not mad, you're not losing your mind, like it is a real thing, what you're feeling, what you're experiencing. And I think we all have a different outlook too, like people with neurodivergent minds. I think like our outlook on life is so much broader than the average mindset, and people try and like downplay us, I think too. So I think it's good like what you guys are doing and people like us to give people a voice.
Tell us about Talk to COCO.
Okay, so Talk to COCO. So I guess this is a platform. Originally, like I was just me. Nothing like this. It was just like normal everyday like Instagram showing your cat kind of thing. And then one day, so I was diagnosed, then I got diagnosed too with a brain tumor and adrenal insufficiency. So from that, when I got diagnosed in hospital, I went on live, cried, acted like a little weak bitch kind of thing, and just was vulnerable. I was just like one of those people, like, and I had never, I guess, been completely myself, let's say, or honest or vulnerable, transparent, that kind of thing that I do stand for. So I'd done that. The response was amazing. I had really nice like things said back to me. And I guess, you know what it's like ADHD, we need that sort of what's the word I'm looking for, like people to like big us up and like let us know. Validation. So for me, that was like everything. So then from that, I started talking openly on lives, and then I was getting like DMs from people around the world, and then it went sort of into the mental health sector, I guess, on like just what I was going through. Then people could like relate and stuff with me, and then it sort of just went from there. And then it got to a stage that people, like, I was giving people advice, they would ring me, FaceTime, that kind of thing. And it was really cool because I got to speak to like dads that would never normally take advice from like a young Black woman, let's say.
Yeah.
However, like, they were like saying like, you're saving my life. I spoke to people like from religious backgrounds that was forced into marriage, and like it was so interesting even for myself to speak to so many different kinds of people where day to day in the street we would probably never even make eye contact, never mind have a conversation. So mine was from that. And then obviously speaking, loads of ADHDers too. And then from that I started doing, because I do creative writing, so I started curating workshops, wellness workshops, creative wellness workshops to put creativity into mindsets like ourselves and other people and help, I guess, express yourself.
Expressive and healing. And,
do you know what I mean? Yeah, just a different way that the bog standard sit there, be spoken to by a professional. And I found that don't work for a lot of people. And young people, I go into schools, I speak to kids, I do all different stuff. And talk to COCO, I guess I always say that it's like this, not like a savior, but for a lot of people around the world that don't have a voice and still don't have the courage to speak to their friends, speak to their family or whatever. Like, I still do a lot of that now, which is nice, rather than, even though things are good for me on a personal level, I guess, in exposure or what I'm doing, working with companies and brands. Like, for me, I say, like, never forget the heart and the reason I did start what I do. So that's really important to me.
I think, you know, as well, like from us as well, like we've got our community and stuff, and it's also healing for us, because that peer-to-peer support and that understanding, and that's definitely something that I've taken from what you said as well, is like, we do need that validation, but we also, I think from my perspective, is like need an understanding. People that are so often misunderstood, to be able to come together and connect on that level is the most powerful thing ever.
Ever. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And that's why it's amazing, like stuff like this. And that's why what you do is important, because you're not just a podcast. Do you know what I'm saying? It's so much more than that. And a lot of people would just stay in that sector and like you interact with your people, like you've got a community, as much you're doing your talk, but you interact. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not, it's for you and the people, rather than the people just come for themselves, which I think that's so important.
Because we knew that if we shared our experiences, well, we hoped, there would be others like us, and that would be validating. But what we didn't realize was quite how much. So then to connect with people has, like, it is the main part of it. It's the most important part of it.
I think when you feel so much alone in your problems and your troubles, and you've got no one to talk to about it, it is a really dark, horrible place. But as soon as you can bring yourself to talk about it with other people and find other people that are similar to you and are going through the same things as you, it's incredible. Because you come out from under your rock and realize that you're not alone, and you're just like, shit, there's people like me, and like
100%. And it makes you just feel a bit more proud of yourself too. Like, Eva, I bet you if you were to ask all the people that you speak to or follow you, like, how proud do you now feel of yourself from before they even probably followed you? Their self-esteem too will shot up, you know, like the little things too that I think we don't realize can impact, especially us people with ADHD. We need validation, we need all these things. It beats down on our self-esteem, like our own psyche. Do you get me? So for me, like yourselves, like, if I didn't do what I done, like, I'd feel like shit. Like, for me to know I'm helping someone and making a change in that respect is everything. So that's dope.
Absolutely.
I just feel that I couldn't go on with the rest, like, having gone through what I've gone through, to not help others that need to help them not go through the same thing.
100%.
And if I can have, if I can have some impact in that, so that other people aren't going to suffer the way I've suffered, then that's huge. Why wouldn't I want to help them?
Exactly. And not that, like, imagine how many lives you're saving. Even the people that don't say something, sometimes just being able to hear your voice and relate that way is still like everything to some person. Do you know what I mean? No matter how big or how small. It's so true. So that's why we do what we do.
Of it. No idea.
Isn't
it? But anyway, let's talk about you some more.
I know, totally digress. So when and how was the diagnosis process for you?
What do you mean, like how?
So obviously you got diagnosed at 17.
Yeah.
Was it a quick diagnosis process?
Oh, so it was a nightmare. So like once you get to the like psychiatrist, like the little building you go to or whatever, like the first guy I seen, he was an asshole. And you know, for people like us too, like I thought, how am I gonna be serious talking to him? Like he looked like he didn't have a clue what he was doing. He had all crumbs over his chest. Like I thought, this is not professional. What an ass.
My guy didn't take off his jacket.
So I mean, yeah, it's certain things, you know, for how we are too mentally. Like I've tuned out before I've even sat down.
Yes.
Yeah. So I ain't even trying to say like, because you ain't taking nothing serious. No. So the first guy, he was an asshole. That was a joke, basically. And he said to my mum, what am I even doing here? Second time I went, this woman, she was all right, wasn't the best. But still, first of all, they told me I had bipolar with ADHD. Yeah, so that was the worst one too. So then I was prescribed medication. I tried it first of all, because I'm not against meds, but personally for me, they just don't work. Yeah. So I tried these meds. They made me look like I was on hard drugs, put it this way. I couldn't even talk. Like that wasn't me. Like, no, boom, that was not. Went back, then seen the first lady, her name was Chanel. Well, that was her first name. She's Dr. saying, but I never used to call her doctor. And she was wicked. She was she was this Indian doctor. She was originally from Birmingham. She was like a bit more like, I think she allowed me to be me, so I felt comfortable.
Yeah.
So like, do you know what I mean? So I would chat and be more open with her. She was like, you got ADHD, that ain't even like, I don't know how this had taken this long. Like you could only got to be around you for 5 minutes to know like you're on the severe level. You got a bit of Tourette's too. Boom. Okay, cool. That was that, going back and forth. Then she got moved. So then that threw me off. Like, I've got to see a different psychiatrist now. Who's this going to be? So then you can imagine my brain's like going crazy, like don't want to go. And then this doctor was Dr. Khan. He also then confirmed my diagnosis with me. They dash out the bipolar, was like, I don't see you in that, not at all. You're just on the severe ends of ADHD, sit on the autism spectrum. You've got mild Tourette's. Like, this is how we see you. Do you want to take medication? Do you not? He gave me the choice. That was the first time too, I think, that a doctor had given me choice. And I was like, no, I don't want to take any. I'll try, but I do, like, I've been this person my whole life. Why am I not going to change? If it was like when I was a kid or something, then maybe we could have threw them in there. However, for me personally, wasn't what was going to work, you know?
Yeah.
So then I used to see them once every 2 to 3 weeks, maybe, let's say. And that was calm. It was cool. I go in. I'm very OCD with stuff too. So I'd like sort his desk. We'd have a chat. I swear, just stuff like that. And he was like cool. And I think he used to say to me too, like, I've opened his eyes. You've never really been around like gay people and interacted, and like sort of I educated him in ways and how to address people. Him being a Muslim man too, like there were so many things which was like really like, oh, actually you're cool. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that was really nice. Then he also left, and I had some stupid bitch. She was horrible. Didn't go back to her. I told her if she's there, I don't want to speak to her. She was rude. You know, like one of those proper textbook 90s back in the day, like she was just an ass. And I thought, like, I can't even sit in the room with you because you're doing my head in. Yeah, so that didn't work very well. I used to see her remotely over the phone because I couldn't be in the room with her because she just used to really grip me. That was that. And then I got a new one now, and I haven't even seen since the last year because of COVID and all the crap. So they do phone calls, but that's probably about it.
Like, how did you find COVID? I'm just thinking.
Oh, do you know what? Right. So I'm probably one of the 2% of ADHD people in the world that didn't mind COVID. So So first of all, freaked me out. I was like, nah, it's bullshit. I'm not staying in. Like you can imagine, felt like a cage animal. Yeah. But as soon as then my missus went off work too, because first of all, she was like, you know, when they were still in full-time workers and all that. And obviously I'm just here free, like an unchained lion, left to do whatever the hell I wanted. And then as soon as she come back home, I was quite calm. Like I used to do designing of trainers. So the thing is, I'm like a child. I had to be kept occupied though at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Every day Lara would say to me, come on babe, we're going for a walk. So I'd go for my little walk by the water, calm me down about 6:30 like a kid, take him for a walk, give him some fresh air. Do you
do arts and crafts.
Yeah, literally that was me, I'm telling you. And then I'd come home and I'd relax. But like, to be fair, like I didn't mind it because of I got to do a lot too in COVID for like my workshops. They sort of sprung up then because everything was on Zoom. So I'd be doing at least twice a week mental health and wellness workshops for people. So that was nice too. Do you know what I mean? So it was still a way that I could connect with people. So I think for myself, it wasn't too bad in those kind of respects. Obviously, the things like going shopping, all that stuff was still like, it was worse, I think, because there was more people in the supermarkets.
And the arrows on the ground.
That telling you what to do. Yeah, like stuff like that. Like, yeah, you can't. It throws you off. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, like it was one of those ones. Like, but at the same time, I can't lie. I enjoyed COVID. Like, I didn't enjoy COVID, obviously, but like I enjoyed being at home. My missus never at home. Like, she was working full time. So that was really nice. I got to connect with people too I wouldn't have normally by doing so many online Zooms. Like I had people in Australia, people in Uganda. I done a collab with a lady in Cameroon. Like there was stuff like that was cool then that come my way because of COVID. Everyone's locked up. So it forced more people, I guess, to the internet. And I think we put that positive spin on social media. Do you know what I mean? Like, come people, it can be a nice
this
like
is where we gather.
So,
do you know
what I mean? But other than that, like the bad times obviously was shit. There was days, don't get me wrong, I go mad and I need to go and take half hour to myself and go for a run and that. And it was, and I tried to join the gym. I have these moments too. I don't know if you like that. I get obsessed. So I like go to the gym and I'm so in it for 4 days that I hate it. I'm being for a month. You know what I mean? And I'm like now I'm like, I need to go to the gym. My thing is they'll never be used. My code, like Pure Gym, anyone want it, I'm paying £15 a month for nothing.
I've done that many times.
But no, COVID was all right, to be fair.
So the next question is kind of about what undiagnosed ADHD has cost you. And you're diagnosed at 17, so your whole youth was undiagnosed. And
for sure.
That almost cost you your life, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I think too, like, I think a lot of people don't understand with people with ADHD. Like, I would say that we're like an onion. Like, there's so many layers to ADHD. It's not just the fact we can't concentrate. It's not just the fact we can't sit down and we can't listen. And do you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I guess, growing up, it was like so many things that come with it, like being gay. So then it was the ADHD sort of blocking how I express myself, how I come out, how I navigate that. Then like having like issues with like, I don't know, not like abuse, but like now as an adult, I know like people used to take advantage of me, let's just say. But being young then and having ADHD and how your mind navigates and how you see the world, I didn't see certain things like that. So I always think if maybe I was diagnosed a lot earlier, I maybe wouldn't have gone through a lot of things I had been through as a teenager. Do you know what I mean? Kind of thing. However, at the same time, I don't sort of take back anything that happened to me, brings me to who I am today. 100%. But like, it took me to like killing myself. My mum had to give me mouth to mouth and all that. I woke up in an ambulance. Do you know what I mean? Kind of thing. So for me, it was that like I've like thrown a machete at my mum, like not that I'm proud of her or anything, but like as a teenager, like I was unleashed Tasmanian devil. Like I just couldn't navigate all this feeling and emotion, and I didn't know how to express myself, especially when I was angry. I think that was the worst with having ADHD and being angry and not having anyone, even my family, they didn't know how to deal with me, if you like, because of how I was. So it would just be like, oh, you're being naughty, go to your room, you're grounded. That's the worst thing you could have ever done for me, because now you're going to get 10 times worse. Your house is going to get smashed up. My bedroom's smashed up. I'm like a raving lunatic and just needs to get out, but I'm being kept in. Like, so I think
Devil's a great example.
It is. That's what you like, innit? Just go in and and that's why I always say to people, like, I don't want to feel like this when I'm feeling like it. It's the one thing, if I could have ever changed about myself growing up, I'd say, please take this away from me and make me normal. Do you know what I'm saying? Because my brain used to be like on another planet. However, now I'm so glad that how I am. Do you know what I mean? Because now I can see all the positives, see all like, and I can push it and navigate who I am in a good way. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be normal now. I'm glad that I'm not. Do you know what I'm saying? But growing up, it takes you to places, I think, that like, unless, I don't know, maybe if I was diagnosed AD, I wouldn't have gone through what I gone through, but it's one of those what if moments, right? You're never going to know that.
Do you feel like now that because like you said, you're not going to the gym, what do you think it is that's like keeping you a bit calmer? Is it just knowing yourself?
Definitely knowing myself, knowing that I got purpose. So I don't know if that's another thing for you. Like, I need to have a purpose. I need to know that I'm doing something that can help someone, and then that keeps me on like this nice path. Like, do you know what I'm saying? So I get thrown off, or if I think I'm not doing good enough for somebody else, or do you know what I mean? Like for me, that's nothing. And since having my son, like that sort of calmed me a lot too. Like that's another kind of purpose in itself. Do you know what I'm saying? And my missus said that to me. She was like, it's mad. Like you're so much more calm, and naturally that's just happened. I'm still 100 miles per hour, but like, I guess my decision making is a lot different now too. And I sort of like have to double think about decisions. Whereas before, like that impulse would just cut through with a knife, where now it's sort of just hanging back a bit, you know, when it's like, right, you can still slice through, but just slice through maybe a bit slower rather than coming, do you know what I mean, kind of thing.
Because it's a bit like what we were talking about with the watching TV and being on your phone. It's the other thing. You've got another 100%. Person that you have to think about, and that makes you think clearer. It makes you constant.
And people, that supportive people too. I think that's really important. Like my last relationship, ex-wife, like, do you know what I mean? Like that was just like too, like, like someone throwing oil on the fire, that cliche saying like all the time, like wanting me to go mad. Whereas now I'm with Lara, polar opposite. I'm like a different human being. Like I feel like, where have this person been this whole life? But it's, I think that really plays part in people like us. Like who you're around really affects you,
understand you,
energy.
You are.
You've got to have understanding with ADHD. You've got to. It's not just, we're not just naughty. We just can't concentrate. It's so much more.
And that's it. It's that understanding of yourself, and then making sure that the people around you have an understanding of you as well.
Making
for sure. That's so important.
It's so wonderful to hear.
I know.
If you are finding this podcast helpful and you're in a position to do so, we are asking that you help us by signing up to our Patreon. In pledges starting at just £4 a month, it will give you access to our We Are ADHD AF community forum, in which we are both active members and we all support and learn from each other. You will also get access to behind the scenes content, exclusives, offers, blogs, vlogs, the works, everything in the kitchen sink. Your pledge will also mean that we will be able to continue to put out weekly episodes of ADHD as Females, the podcast.
Alternatively, if you would prefer just to make a donation, you can do so by visiting buymeacoffee.com/ADHD as Females. We know that our words are helping people in 164 countries and counting.
We really appreciate your support in supporting us to continue supporting the ADHD community.
If you are ADHD AF and you want more ADHD AF, join the We Are ADHD AF community. www.patreon.com/ADHD as Females.
What has changed for you since diagnosis?
I'd say my outlook on life. I think like since being diagnosed, how I see the world has changed, like, and accepting myself. I think until we accept ourselves, to give ourselves a chance, because I think that's another thing. People like us, we beat ourselves up so much. So since that, I was like, no, okay, this is me. I'm going to now run with this. So I always say to people like ADHD were like a Ferrari, we're fast and all that. So just be careful with us, like you would with a car. You're going to still drive 150 miles per hour because that's where it can go, but you're going to be careful. So that's like with us. Don't like push our buttons and then run off and let the fire explode. Sit there and put it out with us, kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? So
that's such a good analogy.
Honest, like that's what I think, like with people like ourselves. So for me, I think it's just self-acceptance and giving myself a chance to, and not being so hard on myself. So like when you have our burnout days, when we have these meltdowns and stuff, just to be like, it's okay, chill, you're just a human being. So like don't be too hard on yourself, because I think we beat ourselves up, right, for a lot of things. So oh
god, all the time, and any excuse as well. Okay? But the thing, I really like what you said then, because it's like, you know, we always say the world isn't going to bend for us. No one's going to go, oh, okay, well, you've got this, so you can do whatever you want. Nobody's asking that. But the point is if you know that somebody has ADHD, then just be a little bit gentle. Be mindful of that.
So when we react different, right? So like when we react to ways, or like another thing with ADHD, I don't know if you guys are the same, but like someone can't tell me something and then change it. So if you're going to tell me we're doing something at this time and then on the day it's going to change, like be mindful of how I'm going to react to that. Do you know what I mean? And then people, it throws me off, and I act like a psycho because I can't cope because my day's changed. And like, it's like, come on, man, just please be like, do you know what I mean? Or at least give me another date so I can then focus on that. Or but it's just the little things, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I always say to my friends, like, if you want to meet up, you need to tell me when and give me a time and a date, because if you say let's catch up next week, I will not contact you next week.
100%. Like 100,000,000%. That's so true. And I think a lot of people too, I don't know if you guys find that, like with my friends, I've got friends that like really get it. And then I've got friends, as much as we've been friends for years, still you can tell don't, because their actions and how they are towards you, you're like, you wouldn't do that because you know how this is killing me inside right now. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think to them it's, it's only little, but to us it's like that times 100. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, that's really important too, who you have around you and who you navigate and who you tell things to, because I only have certain friends that I'm going to express myself to because I know they understand, and there's other friends I keep sort of on a back burner, if you like, because I'm not even trying to put myself through your bullshit.
Giving yourself that grace to be like, well, it's about safety, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you have people around you that aren't willing to try and understand you, then do they actually care?
Do you get me? 100%.
And even if they do, not in the right way, then that affects you and how you
feel. Because you're at home sitting there melting down, can't cope, and then your day's fucked. Your husband or your missus is pissed off at you. Your kids are not fed. Do you know what I mean? Because you're on one. It's true though.
Or they're getting upset at you because you forgot their birthday, or you forgot, to meet up with them or double book them or anything like that. There's nobody feels worse about that thing than yourself.
Than you, anyway. Exactly.
So for them to then make you feel worse about it, that's that lack of understanding. So it's so important to have people around you that at least try to understand.
And communication. Like if you're going to set the fire, then help put it out.
Yeah,
that's because a lot of people don't. We can get away with anything, but it is like, this is what's happened, this is where I'm upset, and then working through that, as opposed to like chastising somebody or throwing
it's true, definitely. And I think too, because of like ADHD, like how it's stigmatized in the world and how it's stereotyped, I think a lot of people too still hold that on, and you only see that in like their actions. So then you think, right, you are still one of those people, because if you wasn't, you wouldn't be doing X, Y, and Z. With people with ADHD, it's like, oh yeah, it's all right, go on, you still do it, or it won't hurt this one. Do you know what I'm saying, kind of thing? Because it's not like the obvious like visibility or whatever kind of thing. I noticed that's
100%.
And so we always speak about diagnosis of ADHD as kind of like dealing with it emotionally. It's like being on a roller coaster, a grief cycle.
Yes.
And it very much sounds like you're at acceptance.
Well, it's been, what is it? I can't even remember. I can't do the maths. Is it 13 years?
Yeah. 13, 14 this year. Yeah.
So you're there.
Yeah, I feel like I am. And like, I am 100%. I am. Like, for me, like I always say, I wouldn't change who I was at all. Like, I love that I'm different. Like, anything I go for, I put a point of putting out my application. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and then if it's for them then to deal with, that's what I've realized too. It's not our problem, because that's another burden I think that I've always carried on my shoulders. And I don't know if you ladies are the same, like that it's my fault that I feel this way, or it's my fault that I'm this way. And then I think now I'm like, nah, F all of you who can't deal with me, because that's your problem. It ain't a me problem anymore, because this is who I am. Do you know what I'm saying? You can't, like, we can't change it.
A disability, a brain disorder is not a personal failing. I haven't done that. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And people think sometimes that you're just being a bitch, or you're just being awkward or difficult. Hello, chemical imbalance here. Like, give me the other chemicals to make it right, and then maybe we can all do that, but no one can. So, do you know what I mean? F you kind of thing. Yeah, definitely. It's a them problem, not an us problem, ladies. That's what I know.
Yeah.
Everyone could go and suck a banana. How about that?
So do you ever flip back and like have days where you're just like, oh, I wish I didn't have ADHD or anything like that?
It is, so like, moments. For sure. Like the other day, something happened, like without like giving details, because I don't want to like put people's business out there. But like amongst friends, a friend of shit stirred basically between me and another friend, kind of thing. Let's say. That's one thing too with me. I am not a liar. I am so obviously and so blunt that it hurts people. So then when things like this happen and people tell you you've said stuff that you haven't said it, like that really got to me. And like that was one of those moments. It was like, how I was reacting, I was so upset. And my missus is saying to me, like, just leave it. Like, you can't control what these people think. If that's how they're going to think, like, unfortunately, like, I know it hurts because it was a close friend of you, but like, you can't. But then that's the day I wish I don't have ADHD, because I'm there and I can't stop thinking about, I'm not sleeping. I'm texting a million times trying to put my apologies, even though I've done nothing wrong, and I'm all upset. And I think there are times I wish I never, because I think, fucking hell, like, I don't want to feel like this, because I know that the average person would be like, oh, fuck him. Like, do you know what I mean, kind of thing. Whereas then I'm there and I'm sending a message, I'm sorry. And my mother's like, why are you apologizing? You've done nothing wrong. Like, stop. Like, you need to stop for yourself, because you're like killing yourself over and over again for nothing. So that kind of stuff, I guess, would be the only time that, like, I really wish I didn't. Everything else, though, I love that I'm mad. I love that I can do a million things at one time. Like, I always find a positive these days on ADHD. And like our differences, do you know what I'm saying? Because I think, like, I don't want to be like everyone else in this world. No way. I want to be like me. So,
Love that. Love that.
It's brilliant. Well, that's the positive.
I know, that's the next question. It's like, tell us some positives. But yeah, we've kind of like covered that ourselves. So, I mean, is there anything else you want to speak about in particular?
Are there messages you want to give to our listeners?
I guess my message always to everybody is like, don't beat yourself up for who you are, because I think that's one thing, especially as adults. So when you're getting that late diagnosis, and that's something I've noticed when I speak to people, they're still beating themselves up because they've lived one way for so long and haven't had that diagnosis. Even some people that maybe have just self-diagnosed or whatever kind of thing, or can just relate. Like, I think, don't beat yourself up on who you are. Like, that's something that's never going to change. And until, like you said, we get to that on that cycle of the self-acceptance, like, just know there can be little sparks of that before, even if you're not quite there yet. Like, just don't beat yourself up. Be honest, be transparent with everyone and anyone. And like, it's a them problem. If people can't accept you for who you are, literally a big middle finger, because like, we'll always be this way. When we're like 80, we're still going to be like this. We just can't move maybe as much. Or, do you know what I'm saying? Our brain will still be
still going to try.
Doing it all. But like 100%. That's why I would always say to anybody like us, like, always be authentically yourself, because I know it's trying to be someone you're not and trying to fight who we are makes it a lot harder when you come to the thing of just being like, do you know what? This is who I am. It's cool. Explain it to your nan, explain it to your kids, your co-workers. If they don't want to listen, middle finger, bye, in a polite way. But like, just don't change for no one. Because I think I've done that for so long. Tried to be someone I wasn't, to be accepted, to be loved, to be this. And it don't work in the end. You don't feel any better. You feel more shit, if anything, about yourself. Do you know what I mean? So for me is have people around you that support you and understand and will listen. Because that's important. And if they don't understand, that's okay, as long as they listen. Be honest with yourself. Be transparent. Be authentically you. And don't change. Like, carry that ADHD on your back. That's what I say. It's like a superhero. Like, I'm proud of who I am, and I think
your backpack.
Literally on your
power
backpack. 100%. And it's gonna go. Like, just do your thing. Don't let anyone clap that shit, man. 100% ever. Just
I love that. Like, I definitely feel like after our first live show in Aberdeen, I kind of had a bit of a turning point and realized that being me is I've probably never felt more accepted. And I'm like, shit, I've spent my whole life being someone that I thought people wanted me to be.
And it's not.
And now I realise that I'm actually being accepted now more than ever because I'm being myself.
You're just being authentic.
Fuck.
Yeah,
I wish I'd known earlier.
But it's one of those things. It's like you said, being on a roller coaster, you just got to get through the different stages that realize you've passed the loops, you've passed the upside down, the scary part. Now you're on the part that seems a bit fun. Then you're going to scream again as you drop. But oh well, it is what it is, right? Like, literally, great.
And
I hate roller coasters.
And that's it. Like, I always find sometimes as well that I can stop myself from enjoying happy moments because of the fear that I don't deserve this or that something bad's going to happen. And it's just, I'm at the point now where I'm able to tell myself, no, you're allowed, you deserve to have this happy moment. And of course, it's not going to be plain sailing all the day. There's going to be highs, there's going to be lows. But if you don't enjoy those happy moments 100%. In feed of the lows, then you're preventing yourself from being happy.
Defo. And don't hold on to things, because I'm one of those people too, like, say like there's something that's happened, and then if we're moving on, I'll still have that in the back of my mind then. So then I'm paranoid, or this is going to happen again, then this is going to, and like you said, it's like you stop your happiness or your joy at the time because you're procrastinating on what have happened or what could happen. So live in the moment too, because how our brains are too, I think it does that to you. Otherwise, the moment you get in that, it's hard to get out of, it's like sticky mud or sinking sand or whatever you call it. But I think that people just thrive, like be yourself, put the ADHD on your back, wear it proudly, like, do you know what I'm saying? And I think that's the first thing. And when you accept yourself, people automatically, like I notice, like get drawn to that too, because everyone deep down wants to be accepted. Everyone wants to be so proud in who they are. And I think until you do that, then you don't realize other people will be like, oh, actually, I'm more accepting of who you are because you're so proud of who you are. You know who you are, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like no one can ever take that from me. I know exactly who I am now. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's a wonderful
it's
message.
so lovely. And I think as well that you'll have people that kind of radiate towards you because of that.
Yeah.
And then there'll be other people that like maybe look at you in a way that don't radiate towards you, but it's probably because they see something that you have that they want that triggers them within themselves.
And then people get a bit jealous.
Yeah.
It's and you're gonna have people like that in your life. That's another thing. Jealous people are gonna be around, but for people like us, we can't like hold that personal, I think, because that's another thing too. I take so many things personal.
Yeah.
And like it's not me. And again, that's a them problem. It's not us. So it's like sort of cutting those chains and just looking forward. You get me?
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you. Got all the feels here.
I know, all the feels.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, ladies.
So our final question to you is, what is the most ADHD thing you've done this week?
This week? Right, what day are we on? What's the most ADHD thing I done this week? Okay, so yesterday we went to Cosmeston. So Cosmeston's like a little like place you do like a lake and you have a little cute walk and stuff like that. So the car park is one way. I went the opposite way and I parked. Everyone was going, all like that, fuming. That's probably the worst thing I've done this week. Yeah.
Oh, love it. It's been lovely speaking to you.
It's been dope, man.
Are we going to see you in Cardiff?
Yes, we are. May the
I can't remember. Is it the 7th, maybe?
I knew. Say that it was definitely a 7 in there, though, right? Please do say it's in tonight, Josephine.
Yes, that's right.
Yes,
May
the 7th. Yeah, I knew. I knew there was something. I knew it was 7 or the 17th. Yeah. So that'd be dope, man. Yeah, not on a month.
Okay, well, we really look forward to seeing you. And
literally,
thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you so much, ladies. It's been dope.
Thank you.
Have a lovely day.
Bye.
See you later.
Well,
there's only one Coco.
There absolutely is.
And she's so proud of it too. And I think that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, she's an absolute legend.
She's a joy to speak to. And it's funny, like it often happens when we're speaking to people that you just have this feeling, like this knowing between us, like only we understand what this really feels like. And I really felt that with Coco. Like she is all heart and she's really been through it, and I just think it's fantastic that she uses her trauma to help others through theirs. It's just, she's phenomenal.
And I think to have that, that kind of attitude that she has is that she can make kind of light of all of these terrible situations.
But then not at her own expense.
Yeah. But like there's still like the serious tone there. And it's just I just love the way that she does that, because it almost makes it like there's no shame.
There's no shame.
And she's just talking about it for what it is.
Yeah.
And that's just so nice to see, and just it's just like, these are the facts, this is how it is, and this is how I'm dealing with it, and this is how I'm helping other people.
I think having been in such a dark place at a young age, to then, complete acceptance and complete, I am different, and she wears that, pack on her back.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's amazing. She just knows who she is, and she's living her best life, and good for her.
Yeah, an incredible human.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Honestly, we cannot wait to see Coco in Cardiff.
I know, it's so exciting that we're actually getting to meet her in real life, and go to Wales, and
go to the Amazing Tonight, Josephine, and joining this absolute legend, is 2 other ADHD AF legends at the Cardiff event. In real life, we're going to be joined by Louise Pink Pear Bear.
Yeah.
And Hannah Baxter,
who have both already been on our episode. So if you've not already listened and you fancy Cardiff and you're coming to Cardiff, then go listen to their episodes because they're a bunch of fucking legends. They really are.
They really are. This is what's so funny about the whole thing, Dawn, is that the amount of work we've put on ourselves, the amount of stress and anxiety we've put on ourselves, when we actually think about the events on their own, like, we're going to go to this place with these people and hang out with our people and have an amazing time, suddenly we get excited again. Like, your eyes just lit up.
I know.
It's just all the admin and logistics before. We're like, what are we doing and why are we doing this? And then you think about it, like, oh my God, we're actually going to meet all 3 of them and listeners and be all together, go to Wales. It's so exciting.
And so can we just confirm that next time we do a tour that we're not booking it ourselves?
Can somebody do our tour for us, please? Because I never, ever, ever want to answer another email again as long as I live.
Oh, yeah, same. So talking of things and stuff... things and stuff.
Shall we?
I was like, that kind of leads us on to our most ADHD things. Well, actually, it leads us on to our rabbit hole.
Yes.
First.
Yeah.
So what is your rabbit hole? I guess our rabbit hole.
Our rabbit hole has actually been, well, getting so much stuff on our plate that it's finally forced us to have a bit of logic to it.
Yeah.
So we've been scheduling everything, taking all of the tasks that need to happen, and there are plenty, and actually putting them into days because we realise we've got so few days left before we go.
Yeah.
And there is so much to do in terms of the episodes, editing, social media, literally logistics of going. Everything that needs to happen like now.
Yeah, and in that 15 days before the tour, I have a 40th birthday as well.
So
So
of turning the big 40.
yeah, so there's lots going on. But yeah, we sat down together and we basically wrote down everything that needed to be done. We created a schedule, put everything in our calendar. We've got spreadsheets. We've allocated ourselves jobs to do. It is go, go, go. And it has been a proper rabbit hole, but it's been really...
And that's the thing.
Really quite good.
When we were going through it, it's like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. We can't do all of these things. There's not enough time. But actually, we're getting through the things. And in having that plan has really I'm not going to say it's alleviated all of the stress, but I'm not in blind panic and turning mute and not being able to move anymore.
Yeah.
So that's a win.
Yeah. And I've just gone up to 70 milligrams of Elvance, so I'm hoping that's going to help too. So
no, but really, it is a good thing. Teamwork.
Yeah.
Body doubling and being organised.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's helping.
And our listener rabbit hole for this week is a really random one, and I love it. I misheard a fact about spiders' fannies. As you do. And I went down a rabbit hole on spiders on drugs. As you do. Apparently, when a spider has weed, they only make a half-arsed web. It's really funny, actually, because I've seen this study somewhere where they basically gave spiders a bunch of drugs and watched what they created in their webs.
Yeah.
You should look it up. Go find it.
There you go. Have another rabbit hole.
Here's a rabbit hole for you. But it's really interesting because the different types of drugs that they're on, their webs are totally different.
No
It's
way.
Wild, yeah, really cool. And then there was a second comment on the back of that one, which made me laugh even further, is I later found out that the topic that I was actually supposed to be looking at was about spider monkeys' fannies. I mean, equally as random, to be honest. Why are you looking at monkeys' fannies?
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
But yeah.
Hilarious.
So good.
What is the most ADHD thing you've done this week?
Oh God, yesterday. So I need to get my coil changed. And I've needed to get my coil changed since lockdown. It's overdue, but it's I have a coil because I have endometriosis. It's not because I'm having sex. Just putting that out there. So is there any single guys listening? Joking. Not. Anyway,
my coil was due to come out, and I contacted them at lockdown being like, oh, it's due to come out. What do I do? What do I do? And they're like, there's no hurry. You're good for at least another year anyway, like in the contraceptive side of things.
Yeah.
And it's not going to cause any problems being in longer than it needs to. So they're like, just, we'll get it sorted. And then when I eventually got round to actually booking the appointment, the waiting lists are massive and long. So I just had to add my name to a list and wait for them to contact me. So they finally contacted me. They sent me my appointment. And they've been texting me several reminders, and I've been talking to people about it, saying I'm getting my coil changed. I'm a little bit scared because it's like been so long, it's going to hurt, blah, blah, blah. But I knew it was coming, fully aware that it was coming. And my appointment was yesterday at 9:30 a.m. I'm sitting, working away, taking some photos of merch that we're putting up. I don't know what triggered my memory, but I just shouted at the top of my lungs, fuck! Like that realization just sank in. I was like, today's Thursday. Thursday's the 6th, and my appointment was at 9:30 this morning. And the worst part is, at 9 o'clock, I left to go and pick up my meds. So I was actually I was actually out of the house at the right time to go to that appointment.
Oh, that is salt in the wound.
I know, so frustrating. So I phoned them up, obviously. I was like, I apologise, I'm so sorry. Like, I was desperate for this appointment. Like, I've been waiting for it for so long. I didn't want to miss it. Like, it really wasn't on purpose. I explained, I was like, I know it's not an excuse, it is, but like, it's a reason. I explained and I said I have ADHD and I just forgot, and I'm really sorry. And she was actually really nice.
Oh, good.
Like she was like, look, I'll book you another appointment, but you need to make sure you make this appointment, because if you don't make the next one, you will get put back to the start of the list.
Oh, crikey.
So it's in my calendar.
Yes.
There are several reminders.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's happening in a week or so. So yeah, it's getting done. But yeah, just so frustrating because I want this appointment. So frustrating.
Yeah, sure. Well, good. I'm glad you got another one. Yeah. Oh my God, that's really frustrating.
I know. What about you? What's your most ADHD thing?
So mine is kind of like a backward one. Mine is my most ADHD thing that has been forever. I've found an alternative. Basically, I never take breaks.
Yeah, I'm fully aware of that.
So it's like for example, when I used to work in a pub, they'd be like, the boss would be like, make sure she takes breaks. She never takes a break. And she's like, I don't want to take a break. If somebody's come in that I know, then I'd love to sit down and have a chat with them. But other than that, if I sit down, then I'm going to have to like gear myself back up again to get moving. Whereas if I just keep moving, then the time passes and I'm not aware of the time, and then it's the end of the night. But if I have to take a break, I'm like, oh, what time is it? And then I have to go, oh God, I've got another. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather just keep moving. But lately, as I've said, and I think it's burnout or some very strange stress response, I've just been getting this like real fatigue, like in my bones. And I'm just kind of shutting down, and I can't like do things that I can always do. I've always got reserves in the tank. I'm always like, oh, but I'll just do this and I'll just, and it's just gone. But these last few days, I have been having a lunch break, and I take myself for a little walk.
And rightly so.
Take myself for a little walk, sit down. Like, obviously, I do eat. I just mean normally I'm doing it whilst doing something else and rushing to do something else and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, it's break time. I'm feeling a little bit tired. I'm going to take a break, have something to eat, and then getting back up and coming back into it. And it hasn't been like, oh God, I can't face it. It's like, right, okay, I'm ready to get on with it now. And then I'm not burning out.
Yay!
I know!
That's massive.
It's the first time in weeks. Like by Friday, I'm dead.
Yeah.
It's the first time in weeks. I'm like, I'm all right, you know. And then, like last night, for example, I'd forgotten something really important that I needed to do to be able to get this new merch out.
Yeah.
And I could have just, normally I would have been like, right, I'll just go and get it now, blah, blah, blah. I looked at the time, it's 10 o'clock. And I was like, this is how you burn out, Laura. These are the things that you do that make you burn out. So do you know what? It can fucking wait till tomorrow.
Yes, girl.
I know.
I'm so proud of you.
I know.
I'm so proud of you.
Because I was scared. I was like, fuck, something's happening to me. Yeah. Like, is it hormonal? What am I going to do? I always have the energy. I'm stressed, but I have the energy. Where's my energy gone? And now it's like, oh no, I can just conserve it a little bit.
Yeah.
and it's actually working.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. I think breaks are important. I can be the same. If there's something that I'm stuck into, like editing, for example, I'll be like, right, I'm going to do it for an hour tonight, and then I'll leave it and I'll come back to it. I can't. I have to keep going because I'm like in the zone. I'm like, if I stop, then I won't be able to get going.
Yeah.
But it's funny because you do actually find when you have that break that, it might take 5 minutes to get back into it, but you can still get back into it and you're probably more productive as well.
Yeah, because you're more alert and you're not like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So breaks are important. So if you don't take breaks, take breaks.
Nearly 40, figured it out. Got there always get there in the end.
Exactly. But yeah, breaks are good.
So a really good most ADHD thing from one of our followers this week is ran a bath, forgot about it, nearly overflowed, and when I came to it, I'd ran the cold tap the whole time. So I had an almost overflowing bath of cold water.
Oh,
I know.
Man.
I know.
That sucks.
It sucks because what are you even going to do with it?
Yeah. I'd have probably just got in. I'd have just been like, fuck this shit, I'm just doing it. Like this.
Let it overflow.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm like, maybe it's cold water therapy. That's what I needed.
Yes!
Yeah.
That's what she should have done. That's a really good point.
Just got it in.
So that's it really. I just feel like I want to say, like, sometimes it's important to remember that anybody could just listen to the podcast from this point.
Yeah.
And I forget that all the time. And actually, you know, we've talked about the tour and we haven't really talked about what the tour's about for a little while. It's like we've assumed that it's everybody knows. So if you haven't heard or if you're curious about what the tour is about, it is about bringing the community together. It's about us unmasking and being brave enough to own our too muchness, to celebrate our too muchness, and to let other people who have perhaps had that too much label know that it's okay and to come and be themselves in a supported, safe space where everyone gets it. But it's also about, I always feel reluctant to say the word education because we're only experts by our own experience. But if you would like insight into the different ways that the wrecking ball of undiagnosed ADHD can swing in and take out massive chunks of your life in education, in relationships, what it feels like to get a late diagnosis, what you're going to go through as you're finding your way, and to just, learn a bit more about it from an experiential point of view, then we are your girls. Yeah. And you know what? We end up having a really good time along the way and playing bingo. So if you don't have a ticket already, London's sold out and some are close to selling out. So please do get your ticket, come and see us because it's a really special thing and we can't wait.
Exactly. Like we said, we've got Talk to Coco, we've got Louise Pink Pear Bear, and we've got
Hannah Baxter.
and we've got Hannah Baxter all appearing at Cardiff.
Yes.
And we're very excited about it.
We're really excited about it. So, hopefully see you in Wales, peeps.
Yeah.
Say it. Go on, say your thing.
Come fai po chwingi chwgera chwn dropi can Cecilia go go go.
We're really sorry, people of Wales.
I know.
We really don't actually know what that means.
It's like the Queen sat by the river, by the train station, by the lake, by the sea, I don't know. It's something like ridiculous like that. But and I'm probably not saying it correctly.
We've already offended the people of Wales with the owls and owl noises. Nobody's going to come.
Oh yeah, you're right.
We're sorry. Please come and educate us. There you go. Come to our Welsh gig and teach us some Welsh.
Yeah, actually, educate us. I've never been to Wales.
It's exciting. Right, we should go because we really better get on.
Yes. Bye everyone.
ADHD as females, ADHD AF, ADHD as females.